Pakistan has rejected a CBS News report regarding Iranian aircraft at Nur Khan Airbase, calling the claims misleading and insisting the planes were linked to diplomatic logistics connected to ceasefire talks and regional mediation efforts.
UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says he will remain in office despite mounting political pressure, insisting Labour's leadership challenge process has not been triggered and urging ministers to stay focused on governing.
Political pressure is intensifying on British Prime Minister Keir Starmer as divisions within the Labour Party deepen, with senior ministers and 72 MPs reportedly demanding his resignation or a clear exit timeline.
US President Donald Trump is preparing for high-level security talks after negotiations with Iran reportedly broke down, with Axios reporting Tehran rejected a US-backed proposal and Trump warning the ceasefire is now on life support.
Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf says Tehran is prepared for all scenarios and warned that any hostile action against Iran would bring serious consequences as tensions with the United States continue to escalate.
Iran has raised the possibility of increasing uranium enrichment to 90% amid ongoing tensions with Washington and Tel Aviv, with officials describing the move as a potential response to further military pressure rather than an immediate policy decision.
The Wall Street Journal reports the UAE secretly carried out attacks inside Iran, including strikes on energy-linked infrastructure, raising fears of wider regional escalation and threats to Gulf oil routes.
Iran has confirmed the deployment of domestically built Qadir-class midget submarines in the Strait of Hormuz, a move analysts say could increase risks for commercial shipping and naval forces amid rising tensions with the US.
Iran has strongly rejected reported U.S. efforts to advance a UN Security Council resolution on the Strait of Hormuz, with Deputy Foreign Minister Kazim Gharibabadi accusing Washington of trying to recast the consequences of regional conflict into a case against Tehran.
Qatar and Kuwait are calling for all sides to keep diplomatic channels open amid tensions linked to the US-Iran conflict, stressing that dialogue and de-escalation remain essential to protecting region stability.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says Washington and Tokyo have reaffirmed close economic coordination, including efforts to manage currency market volatility and strengthen cooperation on investment and critical minerals.
Washington has announced fresh sanctions targeting companies in Hong Kong, the UAE and Oman accused of facilitating Iranian oil shipments and supporting networks tied to the Revolutionary Guard.
Iran and Saudi Arabia have discussed the latest developments in Pakistan-mediated diplomatic talks between Tehran and Washington, as regional powers continue to efforts to reduce tension and prevent further escalation in the Middle East. New York Times exposes the alarming decay of Indian democracy under Modi as he is deliberately removing Muslim voters from electoral rolls and weaponizing institutions to crush dissent while turning India into a one-party Hindu nationalist state.
Israel's parliament has approved a new law establishing special military tribunals for Palestinians accused over the October 7 attacks, including provisions allowing the death penalty in certain cases.
The UN has raised alarm over the humanitarian situation in Lebanon after roughly 100 Israeli strikes in 24 hours, warning that civilians are bearing the brunt of the escalating conflict and renewed displacement.
The United Nations is warning that Afghanistan faces a worsening hunger crisis, with more than 13 million people suffering acute food insecurity as economic collapse, unemployment and soaring prices deepen humanitarian pressures.
A new poll shows nearly 1 in 4 Americans believe without evidence that the alleged assassination attempt on President Donald Trump at last month's White House Correspondents' Dinner was staged.
Pakistan is facing intensifying summer heat with temperatures climbing above 42 degrees Celsius in parts of Sindh and Punjab as authorities warn of heightened heat wave risks through mid-May.
Asian currencies weakened sharply as doubts over the US-Iran ceasefire and rising oil prices pressured regional markets, with Indonesia's rupiah falling below 17,500 per dollar for the first time.
Oil prices moved higher as tensions in the Middle East and uncertainty around the Strait of Hormuz continued to fuel concerns over global energy supplies, with Brent crude climbing above $105 a barrel.
The Trump administration has announced the release of 53.3 million barrels of crude oil from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve as Washington moves to calm volatile global energy markets amid tensions linked to Iran and the Strait of Hormuz.
Passengers evacuated from the hantavirus-hit cruise ship MV Honduras have arrived in the Netherlands, while a Dutch hospital placed 12 staff members in precautionary quarantine after handling samples linked to the outbreak that has killed 3 people.
Spain has completed the evacuation of passengers and crew from the hantavirus affected cruise ship MV Honduras near the Canary Islands, with the final group flown to the Netherlands after a coordinated health operation.
The White House has announced that President Donald Trump will undergo his annual physical examination at Walter Reed Medical Center amid renewed public discussion surrounding his health and fitness for office.
IPL 2026 exposes the hollow reality of Modi's so-called cricket superpower as Indian audiences abandon the tournament in huge numbers, with the average viewership down by 26% and ratings falling 18.8%.
The Pakistan Embassy in Ankara and Ankara University have hosted a cultural event celebrating the long-standing historical and people-to-people ties between Pakistan and Turkey.
The 2026 Cannes Film Festival is embracing a more art house-focused identity this year, with filmmakers exploring themes including war, grief, and artificial intelligence as independent cinema dominates the race for the Palme d'Or.